Hey everybody, we're going to be doing a motorcycle video, and this is going to be how to ride a motorcycle for the first time. We're going to be taking the Suzuki Katana 600 on this freeway over here. So I'm going to be filming this in first person mode. So first we're going to watch different areas of the motorcycle. I'm going to point out what they do, what the levers do, etc., where the brakes are. And then we're going to get on. We're going to putt around the parking lot just for about a minute or so and show you how to get used to braking and starting, starting off in first gear, etc. And then we'll get on the freeway, and I'm going to show you counter steering and how to ride on the high-speed, dangerous freeways of California. And if you look at the inside of my visor, check it out. See those black Velcro strip here and a black Velcro strip here? And now look at the camera. Notice how we have a black Velcro strip, two black Velcro strips on the front of the camera. So it's going to be right in front of my mouth, so you guys will be able to hear me just fine. Alright, we're taking the Suzuki Katana 600. This is a 6-speed motorcycle. It's got 6 gears, I should say. And let's talk to you about that, shall we? Because this is the part that confuses people. Let me put the camera in the visor so I can be hands-free. I'm really bundled up today because California, it's kind of cold, believe it or not. Now, take a look at this pattern here. Notice first is here, there's neutral, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. Don't forget to go to shotgunnow.net and go to our free stuff area. Also get some free game software, etc. That's our website, and there's a 24-hour chat room if you have any motorcycle questions. But this is the gear shift lever. You see that? This is the gear shift lever. What I do is, let's say I'm in first, right? Let's open up the visor so don't kind of steam up. What I do is, if I want to go into neutral, I'll put my toe here and I'll slightly kick up, and that goes into neutral. But if I were in first and I put the clutch in, which I'm going to show you in a moment, and I kicked up to second, my foot goes like this, right? Kick up to second, all the way up till you feel metal, that's second. But if you slightly tap up, just like a light tap, you'll notice you go into neutral, and I'll show you that the light goes on there. And then you keep tapping up to go up the gear. See, so you see this arrow here and this arrow here, you're always going up and down a ladder. If you're in 6th gear, what you would do is put your foot on top this time, and you kick down to 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, like that, right? Now, let's check this out here.
You having trouble with it?
No, I'm okay, I'm doing a video. Oh, thanks, brother, no problem. Thank you. The guy was real nice. He goes, "Are you having trouble with it?" Because I'm kind of down here like this. And he goes, "I got plenty of tools if you need it." So, very nice person. It's good to see that there's hope for the world. People would stop and help. Nice guy. All right, so what you're going to do is you're going to pull the clutch lever in here, and you're going to hold it. Just pretend I'm holding the clutch lever in. And you're going to kick down into first. Then you're slowly going to let the clutch out, and you'll start moving. Okay, that's how you go into gear. And then when you want to go into second, you do the same thing. You pull the clutch lever in, remember the ladder, you kick up to second. So let's put this in here. Okay, now let's get on, and let's get the, let me put this back in here. Now, show you some levers before we turn the motorcycle on, because it gets kind of loud. This is the front brake lever. Down here by my foot, this is the rear brake. You just hit with your foot there. You already saw how you shift down here on the left. This is the clutch. You're going to be using this a lot, the clutch lever. Turn signals, brights. You got the choke lever. This is a carbureted motorcycle. You have the horn here. You have the starter right here where my thumb's at. Hazard light here, and then this is the kill switch to just immediately stop all power in case of emergencies, whatever, if you're working on the bike. Now, this is the speedometer. This is the tachometer. You'll see it going up and down as we shift. The clock, and then there's the neutral light we're going to talk to you about. It's off right now. Here's the fuel gauge. So let's start it. Most bikes you have to pull the clutch lever back, and then I'm going to press the start. There we go. Now the sound will sound like this when I'm on the freeway, so it'll sound better, don't worry. You won't be able to not hear me. It's pretty good. So check out the neutral light. See how it's on now? So what we're going to do, we're going to take this motorcycle around the parking lot, do some stop and goes, and see what else I can show you here. Here's the rear brake that I showed you, the D&D exhaust. Let's give it a few revs. There we go. This is the front brake here. Just put the kickstand up. Now you see the lines on the left here and on the right. What you want to do is you're going to practice for a moment. Put the front brake on here, pull the clutch lever in. I'm going to kick down to first. I wish the sun wasn't shining like that. Well, I'll move it so you can see, but see the neutral light right there? Watch it go out. See how it went out? Because I kicked down to first. My clutch hand is still in. Now watch when I slowly let it out, the clutch, see how it's moving forward? Look, I'm not even giving it gas over here, watch. But don't let it out all the way, just kind of inch it forward a little like that. You'll feel the motor about to stall and stuff. And this time what we're going to do is we're going to let the clutch lever out and give it a little bit of throttle, very little, just to keep the bike not stalling. And we're going to start moving, watch. The clutch is coming out. Now we give it some throttle. Now we let the clutch all the way out. Once you start moving, let the clutch out and give it just a little bit more throttle. So now we're in first, right? I had to go left there, but that car is going there, so I can't. Let's turn here. Still in first balancing. Don't be doing stuff like that when you're new, because you don't want to fall over. So we're in first, right? Then what you want to do is practice stopping. So we're going to go towards this area where no one's at, and what you're going to do just to stop for the beginning, you're not going to take it out of gear, pull the clutch lever in, and then start braking with the front and rear brake. Have your left foot ready. You see how my left foot was kind of sticking out like that? Now we stop, we're still in first, right? We're going to give it a little bit of throttle, a little bit of clutch, just like we did last time when we saw the lines moving underneath us. Now we're in first, right? Let's try it again. We're going to stop over here, clutch lever in, slowly pull the brake back. Now watch for the neutral light to go on. See how it went on? I just kicked up. Now I don't have to hold the clutch lever in. Now we're going to go out on the freeways and the streets, clutch lever in, going first. I want to show you something though. Let's get into second before we go out there. Now watch, clutch lever in, I just kicked up to second. Hope I don't hit one of these leaves. So I'm in second, see? That's how you do it. You don't really want to shift down to first that often. Let's go this way so this guy don't freak out. Now I'm going to slightly kick down from second. Watch, the neutral light goes on. So see how I'm kind of coasting here. Clutch in, kick down to first. Here we go. Now, have the clutch held in back towards me. I have the brake on. I'm looking both ways. No one's coming, right? First gear. Clutch in second. So we went to first and second. Now we're going to take it up to the higher gears. I'm in second still. Let's hope these guys go. All right, we're still in second. Now, a lot of people ask, well, when do you shift? Well, every bike's different. You have to listen for it. Like you listen. Now I'll go into third. Clutch in, kick up to third, see? Now I know what you guys want, a little more speed. So now we're at clutch in, kick up to fourth. See, I just kicked in. Let's go this way. Now look, red light. Clutch in, kick down to third, as I'm slowly braking here. Clutch in, kick down to second. And what I'll do is I'll slightly tap down. Notice now that I'm in the shade, you can see the neutral light better. All right, so we're doing great. We're about to get on the freeway. 2 more traffic lights to our freeway right here. There's one, not counting the one we're at, otherwise it'd be 3. So notice I'm in neutral, which they tell you to do when you're a new rider is just to be in first all the time. But once you get used to the lights, you see how the lights are kind of, now I'm going to go into first. Once you get used to the lights, you know when they're going to change and stuff, and this one's just about to change, see? Slowly let the clutch out. First, clutch in, second. Once you go into gear, you release the clutch again. So it's like this, watch. Clutch in, kick up to third, clutch out. See how you do it? You do release the throttle in between shifts. Everyone asks that. So I'm in third. We'll keep it in third because we got a green light here. But you do release the throttle over here on the right in between shifts. Now we have a turn here. We're just going to keep going. Lean to the right. Give it some really good throttle now. Clutch in, kick up forward. Clutch in, kick up fifth. And now you know why people love riding motorcycles. It's a blast. Now remember I had 6 gears. Clutch in, kick up 6 for good fuel economy. The best fuel economy, I should say. So now you're in 6th gear, pretty easy, right? You just kind of relax. I got my foot here on the pegs, my feet. Remember, we're going to show you counter steering. So I would say about 3 or 4 minutes, we have a freeway coming up to the right. It's going to be a freeway on-ramp. So let's talk to you about counter steering. And hold on, my nose itches. You're going to hear a lot of air. All right, here's what counter steering is. It was kind of weird when I first heard it. I was like, you got to be kidding me. But what counter steering is, and I'm going to use this corner that's coming up over here in about 4 minutes. What counter steering is let's say you have a corner going to the right, which is the one coming up. It's like an on-ramp. And let's say you're approaching it at a pretty good speed, sort of like at this speed right here, not like real slow like the parking lot. Let's say a speed like this. As you approach that corner, what you're going to do is remember the left handlebar and the right handlebar. What you're going to do is you're going to turn the handlebar in the opposite way that you would go compared to slow speeds. In other words, if I'm in the parking lot going really slow and I'm going to turn right, what am I going to do? I'm going to move this handlebar forward and this handlebar back towards my rib cage, right? And that's going to turn it to the right. It'll just turn it to the right. But at higher speeds, you counter steer. You do the complete opposite. So what I'm going to do when you see this corner coming up here on the right, it's like an on-ramp, you'll see it. What I'm going to do instead is I'm going to pull this lever back here, this handlebar, back towards me, okay? So I'm going to pull it back towards my rib cage, and the right one, I'm going to push forward ahead of me. And what that does, watch what happens when I do that. I'm going to pull back towards me now, and I'm going to push forward here, watch. See how it leans the bike like that? It's sort of almost like skateboarding. You just kind of go like that, or skiing is another good example. Hold on. All right, so let's pick up a little bit more speed so we can get to that corner. Now what I want, when I approach that corner, I want to have speed. I don't want to be going real slow or you won't be able to see the effect as much. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to, see how I'm like behind this SUV thing or whatever? I'm going to kind of distance myself from it, where I put some distance between the vehicle in front of me and myself. And then I'll be able to pick up speed going through it, because sometimes they go slow through that on-ramp. Now, after that on-ramp, we go for about 4 or 5 minutes, and we have another one, which there's a lot of counter steering on that one because it's a long on-ramp, and that one brakes to the left, so it's a left corner like that. So here's the question. If you're going, they're all switching over the same freeway I am, I bet. If you're going on a freeway, if you're going on a corner, an on-ramp corner, and it's going to brake to the left, and you're going to be going at a pretty high clip of speed, what do you do with the handlebars? Remember what we talked about? You turn them the opposite way of the corner. So the corner is going to the left, so what are you going to do? You're going to move the handlebars like you're turning that way. So you're going to push forward here and pull backward towards your rib cage here with the right handlebar. You got it? That's if you're going left. And what that'll do, watch, it'll lean the motorcycle. See how we're going to the left side? It'll lean it to the left. And that's what you want to do. You just want to lean around the corner. Here comes our freeway. So watch what I'm going to do. We want to go right, which is what we're going to do now coming up. What I'm going to do is push forward here, away from me, like up front, going this way ahead of the motorcycle. I'm going to pull backwards here. Watch what happens. See how it just puts you in the other lane here. So let's go around this guy. This is good. I can get a good clip of speed here. See those, I don't know if you can see that, those freeways up there. Big interchange. That's where we're going. We're going to go right there. Here it is. It's the next lane over here on the right. But remember what I told you, you want to get some distance. Another thing too is I wear these sponge earplugs. You can get them at Walmart or really any pharmacy. Construction stores or like Home Depot has them. Harbor Freight. And they're great because they muffle the sound just a little bit, but not a lot. Okay, this is where we got to go right, and let's get some distance. That's why I'm slowing down. This middle lane is going to go. All right, here goes. So now we're going to go right here. This is the counter steering part. And another thing that I'll do is I stay on the left side, and then I cut across on towards the right. All right, picking up speed. Right here, I'll start straightening out the line. Now I'm doing the counter steering that we talked to you about. Now the next one's only a few minutes. It's really close, and that one's the one I want you to see because that one's a lot higher speed. But you got counter steering down, you got shifting down, braking's pretty easy. Shifting really was the most difficult thing, and that's not really difficult either. I would say when it comes to shifting, if you've got first gear okay, first gear, you're all right. You know, you just figure out first gear, get good at that, and the rest of the gears are easy. Just getting the motorcycle going. You know, you see these videos on YouTube where these guys are like flipping their bike over their head and stuff. Now what's happening is they're new and they're just giving it too much throttle. I think that's what's happening. Alright, here comes our counter steering corner. It's going to brake to the left. You might be able to see it. It's a big on-ramp up here. another thing too is talk about gear. Notice I have a motorcycle jacket on. It's full armor. It's got the CE armor in it where if I crash, I don't injure my elbows and stuff too badly. I have these gloves on. They're called Pro Biker gloves. They have these little knuckle protectors. And you see these little rubber things on the fingers? You might think, what's that going to do? That's not going to really protect. Well, it protects you from flying objects. I've got hit by metal and stuff, and it really does help. All right, here goes our left corner here. So what are we going to do? We're going to push forward ahead of us here and pull back towards our rib cage here. And no one's here, so this is great. I'm going to ride the line here, stay down the middle. See, I'm just kind of leaning it. A lot of fun. So you got it, guys? So let's sum up what we talked about. Well, in the video, this is the front brake right here, the lever. This is the throttle. This is the clutch lever. Remember, in between shifts, you hold the clutch in. Once you're in gear, you let the clutch lever back out. Let's get around this semi. You do release the throttle in between shifts. So let's say I'm in fourth gear, right? What am I going to do? I'm going to clutch in. I'm going to kick up down here to fifth. I'm going to let the clutch out, but I'm going to do it exactly like this. Watch. Release throttle first, clutch in, kick up to fifth, let the clutch out, and then roll back on the throttle. So let's do it right now. Let me kind of go down. Hey, you know what? We're getting Santa Ana winds. Let me go down to fifth and show you. Okay, watch. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up to 6. So watch how I do it. First, I'm going to release throttle. Then I'm going to clutch in. We're getting major Santa Ana winds. Watch. Okay, I'm in fifth gear. Okay, watch. Release throttle, clutch in, kick up to 6, clutch out. The news last night said we're going to get major Santa Ana winds. These are like 40 mile per hour gusts. But I've been in more challenging winds than that, so I was like, oh, I can handle it. That's another thing too, is this motorcycle is a very heavy motorcycle that I specifically got for this type of weather. The heavier the motorcycle, and as long as you don't have some big honking windscreen that's going to attract the wind, the better you'll do in the wind. So I hope you guys appreciated this motorcycle video. Stop by our website right below this video in the comments section at shotgunnow.net. You got some free games there. If you want to keep your computer running like new, as the wind blows you over the other way. We have some free optimization tools there, free antivirus programs, free anti-spyware, malware programs. Very much fighting the wind now. And what you do when you go to shotgunnow.net, click free stuff. You'll see it'll say more, M-O-R-E, and you click free stuff. We got tons of free software for you there. We also have a 24-hour chat room. This guy's like got his Harley up there most likely. You know, before we go off the air here, the video, the type of motorcycle that you get should be for where you're going to ride it.
So for example, look at these palm trees bending in the wind. If you're going to ride on the freeways like I'm riding, and you're going to be hitting high speed compared to like city riding, this is a lot higher. You're going to want something with power. My personal opinion is a 600. You don't want to go lower than like a 500 at the lowest. If you're going to be going like long distance motorcycle rides. If you're just going to be going a few miles, it really don't matter what you get. I've had a Ninja 251, Kawasaki Ninja 250 sport bike, and when I'd get winds like this, it was literally terrifying. Because it's a very light bike. It's great on gas, it's a great motorcycle, one of my favorites I've ever owned. But I wouldn't want it for this type of riding. I want some big, heavy sport bike with like a smaller windscreen. It doesn't really affect the ride as much. Now, if you're going to be riding up in the mountains, or the twisties as they call it, well, you wouldn't want this motorcycle. You'd want something like maybe a Ninja 250. Something very light and agile. If you're just going to be going on the streets, well, this isn't really a motorcycle, in my opinion, just for street riding. It's a heavier bike. It's more of a touring bike where you go long distances. Very comfortable bike. I've had other motorcycles, and this bike, for example, has the most comfortable riding position. Check this out. I could, because the seat's real long, right? So I can lean forward, like when I get those winds. But I also can scoot forward and stand, like sit straight up, see? But when it's real strong like this with the winds, I like it that I can scoot backward, my rear end back towards the seat, and I can kind of tuck down, you see. A lot of fun. So always get the motorcycle that will be equal to where you're going to ride it. So when everyone has their own opinion on what type of motorcycle you should get, but no one could really answer that correctly unless they know where you're going to ride it. That's the key. If I was going to get a motorcycle and I'm just going to be going, let's say I'm a college student, and let's say I'm just going to be going to and from school on the streets, like a couple miles away from my house, well, heck, it don't matter what you get. Anything will do the job. Get something that's really good on gas. I like the Kawasaki Ninja 250. If you don't like the sport bike style like this, you like the chrome and all that, they got one really inexpensive Honda Rebel 250, and I believe Suzuki has a 250. These are beginner motors. But listen, I want to tell you guys something. Don't be afraid, like, to get something with some power. As long as you're not crazy and you're not going to go do some really wild things and put your life at risk, you're going to be fine. Listen what I did. I had a Ninja 250, and I thought I was going to end the video, but I have more to say. I had a Ninja 250. Wait, before I tell you that, we got a very steep hill coming up here. I want to show you why you want a 600. I had a 250, and that thing I would have to like downshift just to go up the hill. Here I can stay in 6th gear all the way up the hill, because this is a 600. It's got enough power that you'll be satisfied on the freeway, but not too much power where if you're a brand new rider, you could get into trouble with it where you don't know what you're doing. But anyways, I had a Ninja 250, and coming up these steep hills, the thing would like just struggle, you know. because it's a long steep hill. It's not like a little short steep hill. And after a while, I had the downshift to fifth gear and stuff. So definitely where you're going to be riding the motorcycle is key. That's the ball game right there. That's where the whole ball game is, where you're going to be riding it. You're going to be going on these type of freeways, dude, or dudette, in case you're a woman. You're going to need a 600 at least, in my opinion. Oh, I know what I was going to tell you. Remember I said earlier in the video, don't be afraid. People say, well, don't get something with power. Here's why. I had a Ninja 250, and I went from really a beginner's motorcycle. I went from that to a ZX10, like an older ZX10, with a lot of power. And I was fine. I didn't have any trouble with it at all. In fact, I'm going to be honest with you, I felt safer with the ZX10, or this motorcycle, than I did the Ninja 250. Now, don't get me wrong, Ninja 250 is a great motorcycle. I even advise my friends that are just starting off to ride, I tell some of them to get that motorcycle based on where they're going to ride it, you know, on the street and stuff. But like this hill right here, I would always have to like downshift, because I don't know if you could get the sensation of the uphill climb, but it's extremely uphill. So what I would do is ask yourself where you're going to ride it. With the 600, let's get in front of this bus. With the 600, you won't outgrow it. You won't be like, oh, I wish I had more power. It's got enough power to do what you want. And you can trust me, I've had 1000s, 600, 650. I had a GSXR 600, and a 600 is fine for, you know, for everything, streets and freeways. Do a little bit of counter steering here, see? We got another corner coming up, and then we're definitely going to end it for sure. Here comes the corner. What we're going to do, we're turning to the right. So we're going to pull this handlebar back towards us and push forward on that one. You just apply pressure to it. You don't like push it. You just apply it and hold the pressure there like that. Watch. So hey you guys, thanks for watching. Really appreciate you watching through the whole thing. When you ride, make sure you get some good gloves. I got some motorcycle pants on with CE armor. Get some high top shoes. Get a full face helmet. Unless you like eating nails and bugs. I've had bugs slam into me at the speed of shotgun shells. And I was thinking, man, could you imagine if I didn't have a full face helmet on? That would hurt. You ever notice a lot of these Harley guys, they'll have scars on their face. You're like, what's up with that? Bugs, my friend. Those big beetle bugs. Alright, have a great week. I'm out of here.